G'day and welcome to another video. In today's tutorial we will learn how to crochet this really cute and easy pumpkin. We will be following along with the pattern, so I'll put the link below. Please go to the pattern and print it out, and it's a really easy pattern to do, so it is perfect for beginners. So let's get started on the lesson. So we're going to follow along with the pattern today, and what I did was copy and paste it into a Word document and then I printed it out. But if you're watching this on the computer, you can just click on the link and then follow along with the pattern if you need to look at the pattern. So what we need to do is get some red heart worsted weight 4-ply. If you don't have red heart, that's fine, you can use any worsted weight 4-ply. And it says in pumpkin and green tones. So look what I've got. I actually have some of this in the right colour. Don't know if I have any in the green, but doesn't matter, we'll find something. And crochet hook is a size H or an I. Now I'm going to be using a H hook only because my crochet tension is quite loose, so I'm just using a smaller hook. So that's a 5mm hook, and this hook was supplied by Moonshadow Threads. Isn't it gorgeous? I will put the link below so you can check out the hooks if you want to. So if you don't have worsted weight, that's fine. You can use 8-ply, you can use any yarn you like. But what you want to do is make sure you use a hook size that's going to give you tight stitches. Now this is a beginner's pattern. We only use basic stitches, and it's quite a basic pattern, but it turns out so adorable. So let's get started. It says my pumpkin is 10.5 inches round. It is 5 inches from the top to the bottom. This pattern is entirely for beginners or people who want to make a really awesome, quick and easy pumpkin. It only took me about 20 minutes to make, so here is the pattern. So of course if you're using thinner yarn, your pumpkin is going to turn out a little bit smaller. So step 1 is we want to make our slip knot. Now you can do this however you like, but there are many different ways to do your slip knot, but this is how I make mine. I'm holding the short piece in that finger, wrapping it around my finger twice. I grab hold of both yarns. I grab the left one and take it off my finger. So I've just grabbed it, pulled it over and off. Wrap the yarn again, that's the bit that's still attached to the ball, and then grab the left and pull it over and off. Like I said, plenty of different ways, do it however you like. And step 1, we want to chain 15. So we're going to wrap our hook underneath our yarn. We're going to pull through, so I've twisted my hook like that, and pull through. Grabbing hold of the yarn again, we're going to twist our hook and pull through, and that's 2 chains. So we're going to continue doing that until we have 15. So that's 3, that's 15 chains. Step 2 is single crochet into the second stitch from the hook, single crochet in the remainder of the chain. So what we're going to do is single crochet in the second stitch from the hook. The one that's on our hook, so this one here, does not count as a stitch. So our first chain is here, that's that little chain there, and then our second chain is here. So this is our first, and that is our second. We're going to go into there, wrap your yarn over your hook, pull through, and pull through too. And then it says single crochet in the remainder of the chain. So in all these chain stitches here, we're going to single crochet. So going into the stitch, wrapping our yarn, pulling up a loop, wrapping our yarn and pulling through 2. We're going to repeat that the whole way along. until we get to the end of our chain. You can continue on, or you can just watch me do the single crochet. I will leave the camera running just so you can see what I'm doing. And I love to see photos of your creations too. My email address is in the description box below the video. And if you want to share your creation with me, please do. Love to see what everyone makes. And also we have a Facebook page as well as Ravelry. Got a knot in my yarn. Ravelry page, Facebook page, and they're fantastic if you get stuck, or even if you just want to share your creations. All under the same name, Bob Wilson 123. So in our last chain we're going to do a single crochet. So step 3, it says, the remainder of this project is work in the back loops only. Chain 1 and turn. Single crochet into the back loops only across the row. So chaining 1 and turning your work. You're going to turn it away from you. If you turn your work then chained 1, or chained 1 then turn your work, it is exactly the same. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which way you do it. And then single crochet in the back loops only across the row. So back loops only. Normally we would go into the stitch and go under 2 loops. See how there's 2 loops there on the hook? But back loops only means we want to go in the back one, which is the one on the left. So normally your chaining doesn't count as counts as a stitch, but I'm actually going to not count the chain 1 because it's a single crochet. It will give you a nice neat edge. So this is our first stitch here. We're going to find the back loop. So looking at the top of your work, which is here, you've got these V sections. You're finding the back loop, so turning your work so you can see it. There's a V here, one on the left and then one on the right. You're going to pick the one that's on the left. So that's the one at the back. You're going to go under that one loop and then work your single crochet. So turning your work slightly towards you, you're getting the back loop only. So if I put it like that, that's the back and this is the front. So you're grabbing the back loop and then working your single crochet. And by grabbing just the back loop only, this is going to make this ribbed. So it's going to make a great pumpkin look to it. You'll have the rib section. So grabbing the back loop, working your single crochet. Back loop, working your single crochet. Now it would be a good idea to count across, and we're going to have, how many stitches are we going to have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 stitches. So whatever amount of stitches you've got, you should have 15. Should actually be 14, I think, because we missed a chain. We're going to count that every row, so make sure you got the same amount, because if you're a beginner you're going to make sure you got the same amount. There are little things that you do need to concentrate. The first stitch and the last stitch, very important. So I'm just going to work my way across. So this is our last stitch here. We want to work into the back loop only. And then I'm just going to quickly count my stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got 15 stitches. There we go. See how it's got that little ribbedy bit there? Ribbedy bit. Is that even a word? Ribbed bit. Just here. That's going to become quite noticeable as we go along. So we're going to chain 1. Turn our work. Because step 4 says continue step 3 until you have 26 rows. So we're going to repeat this until we've got 26 rows. So we're going to find the back loop of this first stitch here. This one's probably the hardest one to find because it's our first one. Grabbing the back loop. But then once we get the first one done, the rest are easier to see. So single crocheting your back loops only. And repeat this for 26 rows. And I will catch up when we have 26 rows. So I've got 26 rows, and how do you know if you've got 26 rows? Well, the easy way to count it is to go to the bottom and see how you put your first ridge. Well, you want that to be with your starting tail on the left, because this is one row and that is the second row, and then you've got your ridge. So all you do is go 2, you count your ridges, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 25 and 26. So it says slip stitch across the bottom, our beginning chain, and fasten off. So what you're going to do now is we're going to create a tube. So we are going to fold our piece in half and we're going to slip stitch across the beginning chain. So that's the very edge of our work. So putting your hook into the back bit, we're going to go into the slip stitch, into the chain on the beginning chain, and we're going to slip stitch. And we're going to line up our work so that we've got it nice and even, and we're going to slip stitch across. So going into the front piece, into the back piece, and working a slip stitch into the next stitch, going through the back, and a slip stitch through the front, through the back, and slip stitch. And you're going to do that all the way across until we get to the other side. So once we've had our slip stitch finished, we've got a tube, and you won't even be able to tell where you've joined it because you're going to have this nice ridge here. You could even use this as a bracelet. It's probably actually going to fit my wrist. Chunky bracelet. You could use it as a can cozy or a coffee mug cozy. You could also use it for that. So now it says we've slip stitched across the bottom and fasten off, leaving a long tail for sewing. So we're going to leave a long tail. I'm probably going to leave about 20 centimeters, which is about 10 inches, because you want enough to just sew around there, and then we're going to pull it tight and gather it together. So grabbing your needle, we're going to first of all fasten off. So I need to put the long piece through the loop. Pull tight. Step 5. Thread your long tail into your needle. Step 6. Sew a running stitch across the very bottom of the side of your tube and pull tight to close. So here's one of our sides. We're going to do a running stitch. And a running stitch is just, I'm just going to put that to the back. You can actually put that on the inside, that will close it in. A running stitch is going into your work, going to the back, and then coming out the other side. So you don't want to make them too big, so we can pull it up nice and tight. So it's just weaving it in and out. Should be actually doing that up top there. In and out. Until we get around to where we started. So we're just going to pull tight, and I've noticed with this worsted weight that it's really easy to break it, like when you finish the end of a row, so don't pull so tight that it snaps. That could be a problem. Let's hope it doesn't do it to me. So you want to pull it nice and tight. This would also be a dress for a Barbie doll. Some patterns you can actually adapt to make so many different things. So we're pulling tight, and then I'm actually going to just do a couple of stitches across, because I don't want to pull this yarn too tight because it might snap. You could have used a double thread, that will stop it from snapping. So what we're going to do now is, after we've done this little bit, we're going to get our stuffing. Now you can use the toy stuffing, like the white fluffy stuff, or you could use offcuts. If you save your offcuts, you know, when you finish your project and you've got that tail left over that you don't need, and you can cut it off, save all those up, and you can use it for projects like this, like toys and etc. I've got a huge container of them. I don't know why, but I can't throw them out. Okay, so the hole should be sewn up. Yep. So I'm just going to poke that back down inside. And I can actually leave those long because it's going to... Actually, I can even just stuff that in there because it's going to be, you're not going to see it. So I'm going to get my stuffing, and then we're going to finish off the pumpkin. This is my container that I have just all the odd bits, projects that didn't work. So I'm going to use some of that. Now you don't want to use a colour that's going to stand out behind your stitches, because you will be able to see slightly through them. So I'm going to pick all the light colours, so not that bit, but all the pink and things like that. So we're going to put them in there. Now you can use your your stuffing. Completely up to you. I'll put some light colours, chuck them in. So you're going to need quite a fair bit of the ends, but you won't need much stuffing at all. So you can't see the colour through, so that's good. So I'm going to stuff this, and then sounds funny, I'm going to stuff, oh look, we've got a hat. Another idea for this project. Yep, I'm going to stuff my pumpkin and then I will be back. So grabbing another piece of yarn, we are going to thread the other side so we can join it together. You could have done this before you stuffed it as well, won't make a difference. I'm actually going to make this double thread because I don't want to snap it. So because I'm making it double thread, I'm actually going to tie that on. Put it on the inside. So these are just all the bits. Some of them are long bits that you couldn't do nothing with. Some are really, really tiny. So we're going to thread in and out of our project. You could make, I keep coming up with ideas, you could make this into a little tiny pumpkin bag, couldn't you? Get creative. That's all I say, get creative and use your imagination. Okay, so just pulling that little bit tight. That'll show you where you've been up to too. See how it's all gathered here and not there? You know you haven't stitched. Okay, so we're pulling tight as we go, making sure your stuffing's not trying to escape. I'm also going to run a couple of stitches across, like I did before, just to close up that hole nice and tight. Look, our pumpkin's coming into shape. See how the ridges are great? And if you wanted to, like if you didn't, got to just shape it a little bit. If you don't want it round like that, squash it down and run this thread through out the bottom and then back up again just to keep it in what's the word? Keep the shape of it. I think I might actually do that because it kind of looks cute, doesn't it? Okay, let's do that. So going, I don't even know if it does it in the pattern. No, I don't think it does, but it doesn't matter. Like I said, make it your own. So I'm just trying to get the needle down. What you're going to do is you're going to squash, pull that wool, make sure it's the shape that you want. So it's just sort of squash it down a bit. Go back through. Jeez guys, this is pretty hard. I think that looks a bit more like a pumpkin. I mean, pumpkins come in all different shapes and sizes, don't they? So it doesn't really matter. Alrighty, so just complete this bit and then once you've finished securing everything, run your needle through like this, and then pull really tight so that it squashes it down, cut off, and when you let go it'll come back into shape and then your ends will be hidden. So it pulls down really tight. Might just do one more just to make sure. So I'm going to tie this one in a knot. So I'm just stitching through a little section. And then putting it through the loop. Pulling tight, and that's just secured that off. Now I'm going to go back down. Excuse me. Oh jeez. It's not a sharp needle, so that's why it's not going through. But that's kind of good because I can't stab myself with it. Now pull that tight, snip that off, and it should disappear. See? It's gone. Alrighty. This is something really cute. Alright, so next bit we're going to add some leaves. So this is a project that, as you can see, didn't really do anything. So this is worsted weight, so I'm going to use this. Dark colours in the video really don't work, so I'm just going to pull a bit out of that project. Yeah, dark colours don't work, so we're going to have light green, but I think this still looks cool. So what we're going to do, it says leaves, green tones. Well, that's a green tone, so I think that's going to work. It says make a magic circle. And I don't know if you can hear that fly buzzing around, but oh, I think it may have gone. I'm about to go and get rid of it. Don't worry folks, no animals were harmed in the making of this video. I just opened the door and it flew out, so that was handy. So now we're going to make a magic ring. Now there's heaps of different ways to do this, and normally I have trouble making them on camera, so here goes nothing. The easiest way I've found that I can do it is I just make a loop. So I've got the end of my yarn here, and that's the connected yarn to the ball, and I just sort of make a loop. So I just like put one over the top of the other, so this hand is going over the top of the other one. Leave the tail a bit. Like I said, there's heaps of different ways. I could put my hook into the circle, pick up my yarn, so I'm just holding it with that finger there, grab hold of the circle and do a chain one. So bring the yarn through the loop, then do a chain, and that should work. Yep, that's going to work. So it says chain 8. I'm not going to include this one, and single crochet into the magic ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. Single crochet into the ring. So I'm still holding the ring in this left hand. I'm just going to put my thumb there and single crochet into the loop. So the loop is still there, I've just covered it up to hold it in place. Single crochet, step 3, the leaves. Repeat step 2 until you have 6 more petals. So we're going to have 7 petals altogether, because that was our first one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chains. Single crochet into the middle, and I'm going to be working over this tail. So this tail is going to lay together with the other piece of yarn. I just need to zoom in a bit. There we go. These 2 bits of yarn here, so the tail and the actual magic ring are going to lay together. So we've done our chain 8. We are going to go into the middle. Told you I had trouble with magic rings. I'm holding both bits so it doesn't move around. Go into the center and make a single crochet. Chain 8. Still got the magic ring there. So you can actually grab hold of your tail and pull tight, just to pull that ring in a little bit there. Makes it a bit easier to work with. So still going over both strings, go into the center and do your single crochet. So we're going to continue chaining 8 and single crocheting into the center until we have 7 of these loops, and that's going to create the leaves for the top of our pumpkin, but don't finish off, okay? So I'll meet up when we have all of our loops done. So there we have the finished leaves, and it also says here you can change the size of your leaf. You can have one leaf to be 9 chains, 2 leaves to be 8 chains, and 4 leaves to be 5 chains. Or this is as variety to your leaves. You could add more leaves if you want to, less leaves if you want to. So that's really that's good, that part in the pattern. You can really create what you want your little leaves to look like. So then it says pull the yarn tail to close the magic circle. So the tail we've worked over at the back here, pull tight, and then we want to fasten off, leaving a long sail for sewing. So leaving quite a bit, we're going to cut our yarn. Oh, blunt scissors in the world there. We're going to zoom out and then finish off. So what we do is we yarn over after you've cut your tail, and we pull through and just pull completely out there, pull tight, and that's our leaves done. So we're just going to pull that center one tight again. Somewhere there's a needle. Who's eaten it? I will be back. Told you I'd be back. Found my needle. So now we're going to sew it to the top of the pumpkin. It says, step 5, sew on the leaves on the top of your pumpkin. Add safety eyes or cut pieces of felt to make it look like it is being carved. Or just leave it the way it is and have a pumpkin that hasn't been carved yet. I hope you enjoy this pattern. So thank you, Alexandria. That is such a cute pattern, and I think it is great for beginners. Not much to think about, so if you're just starting out, it's not going to stress you out. You're not going to go crazy. So finding the bit that you want the top, it looks like the bottom. They both look the same, but you know. Popping this on top. Now we can sew that in later, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it to the front. Just pull it through that hole. So later on I can put my needle through there and then sew it down the centre. Get rid of that tail. So, placing it on top. Isn't it cute? This is so cute. And then we're going to pick up some of our pumpkin stitches. In the centre, of course. And then we're going to just, I think I might go, so there's a centre, go up next to the centre, up one of your stitches, and then, getting that tail out of the way, go back through the centre, pick up a few stitches. You just want to attach it so it's not going to fall off. And then up, not through the centre, through next to the centre. go back down through the middle, pick up your few stitches, up next to the center, go back down through the center, pick up a few more stitches and continue that until you've got it attached. You probably won't need very many. That's probably actually attached now. Yeah, it is. So if you need to add a few more, go for it. If not, oh, that is so cute, and that was so easy to make. Love it, love it, love it. So I'm just going to put my yarn through the little loop there to secure it off, and then I'm going to poke my needle through the center with my blunt needle out through the bottom, grab my scissors, pull tight, snip it off close as you can, don't cut your stitches on your pumpkin, and then sort of bunch it up and it disappears. So you're going to do the same thing. Don't forget to save your ends for your next pumpkin. Grab this one, just threading that through, and then poke it back down through there and out the bottom again. And don't let it come off your needle. There we go. Start again. Through the center. Grabbing hold, pulling through, it's disappeared at the top there, and then pulling tight. I need new scissors. And see, watch this. Ta-da! Gone. Ooh, another end for our stash. Back into the container. And there we go. Isn't that so cute? I really like this pattern. Hey, you could probably change the colour. And that could be a tomato. Maybe don't do the ribs, so go through both loops instead of the back loop. Tomato. This could be, you know, really adjusted to make so many different things. So thank you for watching my video. I really hope you enjoy it. I think this was a really cute project to make. Super quick. Only took, I don't know, what, half an hour, 45 minutes? And thank you to Alexandria for letting us share this pattern with you. I will put the link in below to the Ravelry pattern, and I'm pretty sure you don't have to be a member to click on it to see the pattern. Copy and paste it, but join Ravelry because it's great. So many free patterns. We've got our page there too, so you can come and join us. So thanks for watching, and until next time, happy crochet. G'day and welcome to another video. In today's tutorial we are going to learn how to make a easy crochet pumpkin. This bit